Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sandbox stream with me, your host, PandaPops, and we have a very special stream today. We have a Game Jam AMA, but not just any Game Jam AMA. We have two. We're talking about the Friendship Game Jam as well as the City Builder, and I'm not joined just by one guest, not just by two guests, but I am joined by three amazing guests. Woo! We are joined by the amazing Corentin, the amazing V, and we are joined by Lena from Clay Nation. So everybody in chat, get hyped, get excited, because we have a game jam that's coming up. Make sure to register. And I'm going to hand you over to the speakers, and I'm going to mute myself, and hopefully remember to unmute when I ask your questions later. Put your questions down in chat, and over we go.
Hello, everyone. Happy to
Hey,
be there.
big guys, big guys, Sand fam.
With V and Lena, today we're gonna cover two game jams, as Panda said, the Friendship Game Jam and the Tokyo City Builder. Happy to have V back on this stream. I guess you missed her so much.
At
And
least I miss
also,
you guys.
and also today we have Lena from Clinician, so I'm gonna have Lena, since we have her, present a little bit more about Clinician and what they did in the sandbox, and a bit more about the project.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me, and hopefully you can see me okay. So Clay Nation started out as an NFT project. It was founded in 2021, and we launched these clay collectibles. But since then, we actually bridged them over to Polygon to be used in the sandbox experiences, and we revoxelized every single one of our models. Since we've launched, we've partnered with obviously the Sandbox, Ledger, Snoop Dogg, and Good Charlotte, and as well as Unstoppable Domains. And yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing experience having our avatars reimagined into the Sandbox, and working together with Smobler and the team at Sandbox has just been honestly a dream, like my background. And yeah, those that have played the experience, I think, have enjoyed it and seen the most recent includes the Mushroom Garden as well. And we're really looking forward to this game jam as well.
Well, me too. I really like the avatar, by the way. I have one myself. I also like the experience.
Thank you.
I think that's maybe the last thing that we haven't had in the sandbox with Clay Nation. So I think for creators this time, after having a lot of stuff for players, so happy to have you there. All right,
Thank
let's
you.
start with information about the game jam. We can go right to the next slide. Thanks, Panda. And you can also pass this one. All right, so key dates. As usual, you can see all the key dates here. Main one for you, different as last time. The live workshop will be held tomorrow by Cyber Dragon. As usual, I encourage you to go there. A lot of information, a lot of help going your way. We have something else to tell you about workshop and Cyber Dragon later on, but that's for later. Other dates you don't want to miss is the submission deadline, December 18th. And also you still have a week to register, so if you haven't, don't wait till December 4th, but if you have some doubt, if you don't know, or if you want to convince other people to join you in the game jam, don't hesitate to tell them, and they have till December 4th to join us. And to talk a bit more about the rewards, most interesting subject. Like last time, we have 100k sand for winners. We have the repartition on the next slide. Up here it is. Hasn't changed since the Halloween game jam we finished just yesterday. By the way, congrats to everyone who submitted their experience for Halloween. You were a lot of you. Gonna start playing the experience soon. Congrats for your amazing job. And yeah, so basically the same partition. You can see the lot of sand, the catalyst packs, and the land. Yeah, next slide, please. We also have for each joining IP, we don't have one or two, but 3 IPs joining us in this game jam. Obviously, Clinician, but also Dance Fight. They have up to BitCube, yeah. Thanks, Panda. And for each IP, there's small rewards, so 10k sand. For BitCube, you also have some land on their metaverse. And also for each IP, there's gonna be publishing opportunity on their estate. And yeah, to finish, Claynation. So I think going well with the theme, friendship, all those IPs, especially of having Claynation. And you're spoiling the theme, Panda. Thanks. Okay. So no
Out
drum
there.
roll for this time. You have the theme there right away. So better together. To give more precision, we can go to the next slide too. Thanks. So as the Halloween game jam, it's a free gameplay. You can use any of our templates. You can do single or multiplayer, so you're pretty free to do anything. It's much about the theme, better together. So to give some ideas on what does it means. You can check of course, the Medium article. There's going to be some precision there, but basically what we expect you to do is to have, so for instance, for single player, to have NPCs helping you reaching your quest, could be for tower defense, for resource management, but also multiplayer games are expected on this one. I mean, you can do single players or multiplayer, but since the team is better together, it could be great to have some multiplayer games, having each players helping each other in a different roles to reach a common goal. Could be so cooperative, for instance, multiplayer could be a good idea for this game jam. If you have, of course, any idea, any question you want to know if it fits the theme, don't hesitate to ask us in the chat or on Discord. As I said, we have a few new surprises for you on this game jam. I try to add new stuff all the time, and I'll let V talk about this initiative.
All right, so an exciting new thing that we are introducing on game jams, at least to start with for game jams, is the mentorship program. We are offering mentorship for participants in game jams to help out if you are experiencing blockers, if you need help with a mechanic that is getting a little tricky, or a bug that is occurring in your game, or you need feedback on your game, you can schedule a 30-minute meeting with our very talented and clever game maker specialist, Cyberdragon, who will help you out as best as he can. He is not going to do things for you, but he is going to help you out in overcoming any challenges you might have. You can schedule these meetings in a form and request a session. We're going to put priority on new or inexperienced creators to make sure people who are new to the process get the help that they need. And yes, Irongu, there's a form for the mentor sessions, and that will be shared with you, at least in your emails as well.
Yeah, so the form will be shared in the week 1 email. Should be sent out by tomorrow. Then we also have like other resources. I'll let you tell a bit about those things. Maybe you have seen that in past game jam, but we have a lot of new stuff on the Git book. So here's a little tour.
So we have recently released a new beginner tutorial series on the Game Maker, made by our talented education program manager to make sure beginners have good resources, but also if you're not a beginner and you need to brush up, it also offers a bit of sort of intermediate logic and rules so that you learn more about how you can create an interactive and engaging game. I highly recommend that you guys read these tutorials. Not read, it's actually video tutorials, sorry, but there's also written context as well. You can find it on the link that I just linked in chat. If you're new, I highly recommend that you start here. And I also recommend it if you're not necessarily new, but could use a little brush up. Next, the production guide, if you'll pull that up. So the production guide, those of you who participated many times before probably have seen it linked in our emails and various places. But I wanted to show it to you guys again so that you're aware that it's here. I'm going to link it once more in the chat. This production guide is going to help you design your game from concept to well, actually to launch and marketing, but you're not going to be doing that right now for the game jam, but it will help you get started. It's a guide that's designed for you to do things in a step-by-step way, in a gamified kind of thing where you reach your goals, and you get guidance on how to do the various steps. So if this one is really useful for anyone who's new and intermediate and even advanced. It's something that you can use as a companion to kind of keep you on track with your production. Make sure you do the steps in a logical order, and get things done as efficiently as possible. So I really highly recommend that you all use this one to accompany you on this game jam and future game jams.
Well, thanks a
All
lot
right.
for giving us a tour. A lot of resources to help you start the
There are
game jam.
plenty more
Yeah.
as well. Feel free to explore the Creator Hub. We have a lot of good tutorials as well here.
And before we start with rules, I'd like to take the chance, since we have Lena with us here, like to ask, to give you some idea on the theme, and since you know, each IP will select experiences to give some rewards first and to publish them into their estate. Maybe we can ask Lena what she's expecting of those games, and what she think, how can people use the universe of Clay Nation into their creation.
So we really want to see people push their creativity with this. And obviously the theme is friendship. We want to see people working together. We want to see the community-driven inspiration. We want to see people having fun and celebrating their individuality. I think those are the things I'm really looking for. And it's it's a great opportunity for us to actually host these games nights as well. So if the map is chosen, we have our regular community games nights, and we want to be bringing our community into those as well. So that's something that I'm hoping to see.
Yeah, so great opportunity, I think. Don't hesitate to go check the Avatar collection for some inspiration, the experiences that are already published for some inspiration too.
I was going to add actually, obviously, we do have our experiences published with you guys. They're a great thing to look at or to even experience if you haven't already. Our world is clay, so it's very different from the voxel world. But managing to find that merge is something else that if you can pull it off, then you've done an amazing job. So
Yeah, I think the experience will be better, and if you can have that kind of similar experiences with this game jam, could be amazing too. Thanks a lot. And now for some, I'd say a bit more boring, but important rules too. So can you go back just on that? Thanks. As you know, you cannot make any change in your games once you submit, so it's a bit long way from here now. But to give you a precise date, the voting period will go on to January 22. So don't make any modification, included save change in Game Maker, of course, and publication of your game. Same as publication of the page of your game will change the date of modification in the Game Maker, which can lead you to be disqualified. So please don't make any modification before this date. You can also make a copy anytime to avoid this issue, because with the copy you can publish it, modify it, anything, if you wish to publish the game, which is fine, but you need to make a copy to avoid this issue. Thanks. And after voting phase is over, because you can prepare the experience page, even if you don't publish it, shouldn't. But once the voting phase is over, we also need you to publish your experience page before January 25 with the results of the game jam. The idea at the end of game jam, of course, for those who receive land, is to publish the experience on the land. And also, as we say, we have some publishing opportunities with IPs, so we need the experience page to be ready to do the publication. Here's some reminder of what you can or can do with assets. The question is pretty often here in the AMA. So basically, you can use basic assets. You can use only basic assets. You don't need to create or buy any assets. You can only use that if you want. If you're not good with VoxEdit, or if you don't have an artist working with you, it's totally possible to make a game with only basic assets. Of course, you can use any asset that are bought. You can use any asset that were airdropped to you. And asset you can create, but if you create asset, they cannot violate copyright, of course. They can be inspired by an IP, which means the color, the shape, the atmospheres. You can, as I said, go check the previous experience in the sandbox to have an idea of that. But you cannot use copyright elements such as a logo, such as a tagline, that kind of stuff. And last thing you cannot do is use wishlisted assets that you do not own. As again, if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask them here, Discord, anytime.
Feel free to also ask questions in the Creators Forum, where you can also get up.
The version of the Game Maker we're working in for the Friendship Game Jam is 0.10.15. This is such an update because the game will be played by judges on this version. So if you use a more advanced version, the game might not show up, which means your game won't be judged. And also, even if it shows up, you can have like some bugs on the version we are working with. So use 0.10.15 and do not update. Here's a little reminder of the voting criteria we're basing our judging on. I guess you all know them, and you can find them on the rules on the Medium article, also on the Git book. Just a reminder for you. And that'll be it for the Friendship Game Jam. Now we can go over quickly, actually, no, we take some time to go over all aspects from the city builder. So this game jam is a bit different from other game jam. That's why we have this at the same time, the Friendship Game Jam. This game jam is basically focused on terraforming. So we're more about people who are great with VoxEdit and assets, when the Friendship Game Jam and basically all game jam are more focused on gameplay mechanics, fun games. So here basically you need to recreate parts of Tokyo. You can choose any era, any part of Tokyo, any building, any monuments, any landmark you want. Here's a few key dates for you. Which is the main one, it's submission deadline December 18th. You can start create right now. Don't hesitate to go on our creative forum to check, because you can coordinate with other builder, to select some monuments. The idea is that you try to make some diverse monuments. So at the end of the game jam, we publish the baseline experiences on the Tokyo estate, but we'll try to publish as many different monuments or area as we can. So let's try to coordinate and choose different neighborhood of Tokyo, different areas. Here's how the rewards will be distributed. Basically, if you're on the top 9, you'll get published and you'll got 3,000 sand. And then we can have extra rewards up to 500 sand for good quality experiences that were not selected to be published. So it's, as I said, so it's 100% terraforming, so you don't need to put any gameplay mechanics in this contest. So the voting criteria are different from original game jam. It's not over gameplay, level design, or playability, but rather about visual quality, asset quality, so basically how good the assets are done, the fidelity of the reproduction, and if you can recreate the atmosphere from Tokyo. And here we are. Thanks for staying over all those information. I guess it's a lot to process. But of course, if you have any doubt or if you have any question, that's the moment. And I'll let you the mic, Panda.
Yay!
The time. Panda has returned.
Yes, I have. Right, so I've gathered a few questions. If you do have questions for the game jam, whether you think it's a small question or a large question, please do pop it in chat. We will try to get to it. But let's just go over some of the ones that we have already gathered up. Which is the first question, which is, what difficulties did the teams encounter when participating in the event, and what were the most common and simple difficulties? So I think they're trying to figure out, like, what difficulties do other teams seem to encounter, and what are, like, the common ones, and can you give advice on how they can avoid these difficulties?
I have one that I want to say before anything else, but it has been said already, but I'm going to do it again. Because one thing that a lot of people keep doing by accident or whatever is updating their game after the game jam has kicked off, and accidentally opening their project on the new Game Maker version, which will now render that file unusable in the sense that if the judges come and try to play your entry on a newer version, they will most likely not be able to find it, and it might also be buggy. So this is something you really need to be aware of. Do not update your game, and just to prevent any accidents from happening, do make copies of your entry along the way so that you have backups in case something does happen anyway. This is good practice in any case because things can happen, things can break, bugs can happen, etc. So make sure you make copies of your game. And Corton, if you have other things you want to mention.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
leave it
that's
to you.
the main thing. Read carefully the rules. I think a lot of it's a lot of information, and sometimes something might seem obvious, but yeah, just have a quick view in the medium on the rules, like such as don't update your game, don't update the game after the submission, which includes not publishing it or publishing the page. Over copyright, that kind of stuff is pretty important. So this, and maybe one thing I'd like to add is take some time to test your game and test the bugs. Usually we have a lot of people who try to build till the end of the game jam, adding content all the way, letting few time to test the bugs and test the game and fix the bugs. So give you a few days before the end of the submission to test the game. If it's a multiplayer game, try it in multiplayer mode with your friends, and give you some time to fix the bugs. Very important.
Yeah, that's really good feedback. And just to sort of add on to what Corentin said about testing your game, make sure you're testing it in the draft gallery. Don't just always click play and test like in the design edit mode. Just because there are occasions where the game maker will think something works properly until it is published until the drafts gallery, and it's mostly you'll notice this with multiplayer. So definitely make sure you are testing as an uploaded work in progress on your drafts gallery rather than like in the edit mode of your game. Next question, which is what do you mean by better together as a theme? Can you mention what you think would work well with this theme? What kind of things are you looking for in terms of better together?
Yeah, I can start. So as I quickly said before, so it's pretty broad theme, like a bit like we did with Halloween with Trick or Treat. The idea is try to give you some more creativity margin within all our game mechanics templates that you can use. What I would like to see regarding just the theme, so better together for a single player game, what I'm expecting is to see that the player needs to unlock, to search for other NPCs, for friends, to feel this aim objective. So it can be applicable to many game types. So for instance, for resource management is like you will unlock new capacities, new resources by getting the help of other people. For Nobby race could be different section, and for each section, each character has a specific power that will help him pass the section. That kind of stuff. Obviously, I'm expecting to see some at least multiplayer games. I think it's a good approach here to have cooperative multiplayer game to reach a common goal and to try to have each players have specific power or specific role in the team.
Excellent. And Bifurcent kind of asked a very similar question, which was, can it be PvP style? So instead of it like two people players working together, could it be players against other players? So should it be like a 2v2 tower defense? So it's kind of like a 4-player game. You've got 2 players working together against 2 other players. Or are you looking more for everybody needs to be happy together and working to a common goal? Or could it be a more PvP style?
Well, this is a friendship game jam, and the team is better together, I guess. The obvious thing would be mostly cooperative multiplayer games, but as you said, if it's like a 2 versus 2, if you find a way to match the theme with this,
Besties against besties.
yeah, it can work. As long as it's not like 1 versus 1 kind of stuff. So it can be working, yes.
Excellent. So someone asked how to access Game Maker with a friend to build together. Now, I believe Byverson kind of answered that in chat, but it's good to answer it here as well, just in case people aren't reading Twitch chat, they're over on YouTube or watching on Twitter. So how, if at all, can they access an experience together to build together? Firstly, is it possible to build with another person at the same time?
No, it's not.
No.
You can, of course, do teams. It's also in the game jam rules or guidelines. You can have teams of up to 4 people, but you cannot work in a game maker at the same time. And to work together with someone, you will both need to have access to the account that is creating that game, and you'll have to sort of log in at different times.
There we go. So just to reiterate that, you cannot build at the same time, but if you both have the logins, you can create at different times. So you could do a Discord meetup or a Google Meets, and you can discuss ideas. One person can build while another one is giving ideas. One person could be building, another person could be developing the assets for that build. So you both just need access. You just can't build at the same time.
Find your friendly neighborhood voxel artist. That's a good one.
So we went over this earlier, but as mentioned, this is one of the common difficulties that a lot of people end up doing, which is not understanding about what assets can and can't be used. And I know we had a slide on this, but can we just do a quick brief breakdown of what assets can participants use?
Well, if you can put back the slide, maybe, so we can have this.
Yeah, let's zoom. Did I go too far?
Yeah.
I went to, there we go.
Yeah, you got it. That was fast. Thanks, Panda. All right, so going back to what you can or can't do with assets. So basically, you can use any basic assets are tagged as basic assets in the Game Maker, so you cannot really miss them. You can also use any asset you bought on the marketplace, including IP assets. You can use any asset that were airdropped to you, and also assets you created, as long as they do not violate the copyright rules. But they can surely be inspired by an IP. So you can take, for instance, inspiration from experiences that were created by an IP on the Sandbox, or the Avatar collection, or by the IP itself. Things you cannot do is use restricted asset that you do not own. So you cannot go on the marketplace, restrict an asset, and use it in your game jam submission. And you cannot create an asset that violates IP copyright. Here's a few examples. You cannot use an IP logo, a tagline, or characters like that are obviously from the IP, as you wish.
Yeah, and just to follow up with that, because we did have a question just pop up in chat, which was they're asking, so using IP logo is not allowed, but will it get you disqualified?
Well, it can. So basically what's going to happen if you don't respect or you violate copyright, it depends how much, basically. It's our discretion. If you make a game where you put logos everywhere and basically you make like an IP experience, then of course you get disqualified. thing is, if it's just like a small thing, and after the game jam you put it back, then it's possible that you don't get disqualified. Obviously, you can have some penalties in your points. Difficult to give like a precise penalty for which violation, but it depends of the gravity, and then we decide when we see the experience.
Yeah, it's very similar to what you may see in VoxEdit contests, where it does explicitly state don't commit copyright infringement. And if you do, you could be disqualified. So yeah, it's a risk that you probably don't want to take for infringing and violating copyright. So just be aware of that one. Now, somebody did ask, who is voting after a game jam? So can players vote, or is it a jury? And I think we should probably split this because we had a question earlier to do with the city jam. So let's talk about who votes for just the normal game jams.
So basically we have a voting panel, judge panel of 5 people. 2 people are part of the council, which here Panda is also in, which help us doing QA, which know a lot about the sandbox and games. So 2 people from there, also 3 people from external studios. Usually we use veterans from Game Jam, experienced creator or studio that we've been working for a long time that we trust. Of course, those studio, if they're in the voting panel, they cannot participate in the Game Jam. Any member of the studio cannot, of course, participate in the Game Jam to avoid any conflict.
And
that's our judging panel for the Game Jam.
And then the first city jam, a question was, the first city jam had votes done via the DAO. Has this changed? What's changed with the voting for the city jam? Has it now transitioned to be voting the same as other game jams?
Yes, it has changed. We're not working with the DAO anymore for the voting for now. Because it was complicated for instance, for the Paris City Jam, we didn't reach the quorum, so we decided that it was currently not fitting properly our model to use the DAO. So yeah, it's pretty similar. We have a judging panel.
And somebody also said that they're a world builder. Too bad they don't have anyone to do programming, to program like the logic and stuff. To which my first thing is, we have the City Jam, which is terraforming, but V has mentioned so much about the forum and the other tools that maybe we can just quickly touch on those other resources that I have closed already. So I'm gonna find a link.
Oh, I did too. But I did link them in chat. But if you'll pull them up, then I'll let you do it. But what I can also recommend is that you find someone who's a game designer to work with them and team up, because I'm sure that there are a bunch of people who are like you but are opposite and do game design but not really that much into voxel art and things like that. So that makes a good team, right? So this is also something you can do, but of course, as Panda's pulling up right there, you can also start learning the Game Maker yourself. We have all the resources for it.
And somebody over on YouTube, I believe this might be our last question. If anybody else has other questions, throw them in, please, because we are getting ready to wrap up. But I think this was when we were talking about copyright infringement and IPs and stuff, and they just want to clarify, are they able to mention the IP?
Can mention the IP in the lore, but you cannot use, like, as I said, the logo or the catchphrase. I mean, you can mention it quickly, like in dialogue if you want, but it doesn't have to be like the core of your experience. But mentioning it is a possibility.
Mentioning good, creating IPs, logos, and violating copyright infringement, obviously, big no, but yes, mentioning IPs. Now, do we have any more for any more? Any other
Just to
questions?
add something about the fact of being like a sole developer or a sole artist. usually the game jam format make it that it's a great idea to team up. As we said earlier, you cannot work 2 people on the Game Maker, but we have also like a VoxEdit tool. So basically, we can have 1 people working on the VoxEdit while another one is working on the Game Maker. Usually, team up's working great. Could be also a possibility. So, if you know, for the terraforming, so for the Tokyo City Builder, we just had a Tokyo voxel contest. So many artists have created assets. So if you like, for instance, terraforming, but you don't like create assets, maybe you can find some artists in this contest and onboard them with you in this contest. Maybe Panda, you can tell us where we can find easily those artists who participated in the Tokyo voxel contest.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up the tweet, and then everything popped up on the screen, so I took it off. But you can go over to the Sandbox Discord, and if you go over to the channel #VoxEdit contests, you'll be able to see a link to the tweet where the winners were. This is also where you'll see lots of the VoxEdit contests. We'll also be linking those particular VoxEdit contest winners over in the forum. This is the first time V's hearing about it because I forgot to mention it. But we'll be adding that over on the forum, so the people that are taking part in the City Jam can also see the top 10 contest winners for the VoxEdit contest. There is one thing to keep in mind when you are making buildings for City Jams, which is sometimes buildings are their designs are copyrighted. So you can still create the building, but you may have to change like the color and the slight design to obviously not violate copyright. But yes, we'll have we had the top 10 winners for the Tokyo Architecture contest. Many of them, all of them are amazing. So yes, you'll be able to see there. And then the final question, which is the best place where you can talk and find the friends who are willing to cooperate? For that, I say don't find people who are willing to cooperate, just force them. It's how I made V be my friend. I pretty much told her she was now my friend, and that is how we are friends now. But no, V can tell you more about how to find people who are willing to be part of a team. Yeah.
You guys, I'm being forced. No. You can definitely find people on Discord. This is probably where it's going to be easiest for that particular thing. We've got channels like Game Jam Chat, but we've also got VoxEdit Chat, where there will be artists who are often visiting and might see your request to team up. So I would recommend going there, but you can also go on the forum and make a post, a topic there. The good thing about the forum is that it's got more permanence, so it's easier to find your post. Again, on Discord, things kind of they go faster, so your message gets buried faster, but there are also more daily users who enter there. So depends. You can also do it both places, but highly recommend to go and make some friends in the creator community. There are a lot of people who want to team up, I think, but don't really know the right person, haven't found the right partner. So do go ahead and reach out to people and see if anyone wants to work with you.
Awesome. Now, I think that's it for all of our questions.
I want to do a short reminder before I forget. If you guys should make sure to keep an eye on your emails that you signed up with, because in your emails is where you're going to be getting all of the information along the way for your game jams. It's also where your submission form is going to land. So you don't want to miss that one, then you can't submit your game. So make sure that you keep an eye on your emails. And if you're not getting emails from us, you will be getting one every week for the Friendship Game Jams, for example. If you're not seeing those, it might be in your spam. So make sure you check there. But if you're registered, you will get emails. Make sure you check those because there's important information and documents in there for you. That's it. Thank you.
Excellent. And we will see about arranging another GMAE show where we'll have a member of the council that will actually play your games live on stream in whatever state they are. And they will give you important QA-leveled feedback that could take your experience from an honorable mention to placing in the top 10. So, yeah, that's... I want to say a huge thank you to Corentin, V, and the amazing Lena from Clay Nation who has joined us today. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish, before we say goodbye to everyone?
No, just a huge thanks for having me, and we're really excited about the game jam. Looking forward to seeing what people come up with, and to our next games nights together as well.
Amazing. Right, so that is it for our Game Jam AMA. We talked about 2 different game jams. So we talked about the Friendship and the City Jam. So make sure to go over to the events page where you can register, take part, and see all the amazing contests that are running on the Sandbox right now. Be sure to tune into all of the live streams. We have Cyber Dragon streaming tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. UTC. Be there for their workshop where they can show you how to start creating an amazing experience ready for this Friendship Game Jam. If you cannot catch them live, you will be able to catch them over on YouTube once the stream has been live. As always, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I will see you next time. Goodbye.